arrests have been made after violence erupted between protesters and police in Bristol again on Friday night as more than 1,000 demonstrators gathered for a third, "Kill the Bill" demonstration within a week. The arrests were for offences including violent disorder, assaulting an emergency worker and possession of Class A drugs. One person has since been issued a fixed penalty notice while the other 9 remain in custody, said Avon and Somerset police. On Saturday morning, 3 of those arrested were also detained in connection with protests last weekend. Dozens of people were involved in skirmishes with police as officers wearing helmets and holding shields moved to disperse crowds after 10 p.m., following orders for the crowd to disperse under a breach of COVID legislation. A few protesters threw bottles in response and chanted, "Shame on you." Police used dogs, horses, vans and a helicopter to drive crowds back into the city center in an operation that lasted until 1 a.m. Some people were treated for the effects of pepper spray. Superintendent Mark Runeker said, "The majority of people acted peacefully, however there was a minority who once again showed hostility to officers." Items, including glass bottles and bricks, were thrown at officers. Fireworks were launched at our mounted section while one of our horses was also covered with paint. This violent conduct is not acceptable. Officers repeatedly encouraged people to disperse, but once the atmosphere changed and people became physical, it was necessary to take action. More than 1,000 people gathered in the city center earlier in the evening to protest against the government's police, crime, sentencing and courts bill. Hundreds sat down in the street near Bridewell Police Station, the focus of rioting on Sunday evening and Monday morning. One man injured in the clashes was left nursing a bloody head that he said was caused by a police baton. "I was at the front by the police station," said Joe, 30, a recruitment consultant. "The police suddenly pushed forward. I pushed back and was hit with a baton. I've lost quite a lot of blood. I was protesting peacefully." Jen, a 22-year-old student, was being treated for the effects of pepper spray. "My eyeballs are burning. I can't believe the police have done this. We were here to protest peacefully. The atmosphere was good, then they just piled in." There was growing anger in Bristol not only at the police, crime, sentencing and courts bill but at the way protests against it are being policed in the city. The first demonstration held last Sunday started off peacefully with about 3,000 attending but descended into a riot when about 500 people marched on Bridewell Police Station. The Bristol protest on Friday was one of 13 planned in towns and cities in England over the weekend, with opponents of the new bill also due to gather. In Manchester, Sheffield, Birmingham, Brighton, Cambridge, Cardiff, Winchester, Bath, Portsmouth, Lancaster, Nottingham and Kingston upon Thames. Earlier on Friday, Avon and Somerset police apologized for wrongly claiming that 2 officers suffered broken bones during the disturbances on Sunday. It said in a tweet, "Our initial information suggested 2 officers had broken bones. Thankfully the injuries, while still serious, did not involve fractures. We believed the information had been verified but it had not, and while we apologize for that there was no intention to mislead." There was also anger that a peaceful sit-down protest on Tuesday night, at which the focus was the potential for the bill to criminalize gypsy and traveler communities, ended with officers in riot gear moving in and arresting 13 people. Police in Bristol blocked all entrances into Bridewell Street last night. A hardcore of protesters stood face to face with the officers midway through the evening, chanting. Scores more sat down in front of the police. There were shouts of, "Where's your broken bones?" By 8:30 p.m. hundreds more danced to sound systems. At one point a sound system fixed to a bicycle played the Benny Hill theme tune and led protesters towards the town. Others watched jugglers and acrobats scrambled on top of traffic lights. The mood changed at 9 p.m. The vast majority of the crowd was peaceful, but riot shields were raised as a couple of eggs were hurled towards the police. On Friday, CH supped Clare Arms, the force's head of operational support, said, "We are aware that some people may be intending to protest in Bristol and Bath this weekend. Once again, we remind everyone that we're still in a pandemic which has cost many lives and remains a significant challenge for our colleagues in the NHS. We have all sacrificed so much to stop the spread of this terrible disease, and we're so close to a relaxation of the restrictions, when peaceful protest will again be possible. In Avon and Somerset we remain committed to facilitating peaceful protest when it's safe and lawful to do so, however gatherings remain a breach of COVID restrictions and risk increasing the spread of coronavirus. We urge you not to come. We do understand the strength of opposition to the new legislation being debated in Parliament. Protest is a right which we're asking people to be responsible about exercising right. Now, this is about public health and public safety at a time of pandemic. 13 people were arrested after we asked people to disperse from Tuesday's protest. 10 of them were aged between 19 and 25, young people who clearly have a social conscience, but who may now face a criminal conviction which could impact on their whole futures and their chances of making a real difference in society. I want to make it clear. Peaceful protesters will be given the opportunity to disperse. But Bristol will not tolerate violent behavior, and we're here to prevent it. Momentum is gathering in opposition to the new crime bill, which is being opposed by a broad range of protest groups, as well as civil society organizations. Protesters against the bill are due to return to the streets of London and other cities the following weekend, with activists organizing under the slogan #KillTheBill, calling for a national day of action on the 3rd of April. Also in London, activists have opened a #KillTheBill squad in the disused Cavendish Road police station in Clapham, which is situated yards from the last place that Sarah Everard was seen alive. As you join us today from India, we have a small favor to ask. You've read 17 articles in the last year. And you're not alone. Through these turbulent and challenging times, millions rely on The Guardian for independent journalism that stands for truth and integrity. Readers chose to support us financially. More than 1.5 million times in 2020, joining existing supporters in 180 countries. With your help, we will continue to provide high-impact reporting that can counter misinformation and offer an authoritative, trustworthy source of news for everyone. With no shareholders or billionaire owner, we set our own agenda and provide truth-seeking journalism that's free from commercial and political influence. When it's never mattered more, we can investigate and challenge without fear or favor. Unlike many others, we have maintained our choice to keep Guardian journalism open for all readers, regardless of where they live or what they can afford to pay. We do this because we believe in information equality, where everyone deserves to read accurate news and thoughtful analysis. Greater numbers of people are staying well informed on world events, and being inspired to take meaningful action. We aim to offer readers a comprehensive, international perspective on critical events shaping our world, from the Black Lives Matter movement, to the new American administration, Brexit, and the world's slow emergence from a global pandemic. We are committed to upholding our reputation for urgent, powerful reporting on the climate emergency, and made the decision to reject advertising from fossil fuel companies, divest from the oil and gas industries, and set a course to achieve net zero emissions by 2030. If there were ever a time to join us, it is now. You can power Guardian journalism and help sustain our future. Support The Guardian from as little as $1. It only takes a minute. If you can, please consider supporting us with a regular amount each month. Thank you. Like, share and subscribe my channel.